Alrighty, everyone. Well, it all comes down to this. Game number 5 in this best of 5 series finds us on Kairos Junction LE. Spawning here in the top left-hand corner of the map, playing with the blue Zerg pieces. He's the best player on the planet. Tied up the series and wants to win this series and move on to the semifinal of the IEM in Katowice. His name is Serral. And his opponent, spawning in the cross position, playing with the red Zerg pieces. He's currently tied. He wants to win this series and move on and kind of go against what everyone has talked about, that he cannot close out tournaments, and wants to flip that script on everyone's heads. His name is soO. So guys and girls, it all comes down to this. It all comes down to a game number 5 that has been a series of back and forth, a series that has been absolutely incredible in every way, shape, and form. I gotta say, it has been an absolute treat to watch and just cast the moments that I've just had my jaw drop in this series, really in this tournament as a whole. Because when we talk about the IEM in Katowice, we talk about a tournament that is the second best to BlizzCon in a lot of people's eyes, and man, these games show exactly that. So it all comes down to this. You know, Serral, the best player out there in the world, is trying to move on to the semifinal, but he has a guy in the way, which is soO, who has got a massive fire under his belly, or under his ass, to really change the narrative that he can't close out tournaments. So we're about to see who's moving on to the semifinal in the IEM in Katowice. And so it looks like both players going for that hatch gas pool opener, very standard openers by both players. Serral is going to go for that, going for the, he's going to get that Zergling speed upgrade out of the spawning pool. And so that'll, of course, the most standard upgrade for a Zerg player. The same can be said now for soO. And so metabolic boost, guys, as I've said many times, the most standard upgrade for Zerg players. And it looks like both players are going to be doing exactly that. But we are going to see Serral going for a quick third hatchery. So, Serral, if you're Serral, what do you do in this situation? You want to close this thing out? soO has just been, been hanging around this entire time. How do you close this thing out? And I think if you're Serral, you do a little bit of what you did in game number 4 that was so successful. You really try to take the fight to soO. And if you're soO, I think you do vice versa. You need to be the one creating the problems for Serral. You have got to be the one pushing across the map, and having really good timing pushes, and just keeping Serral on his toes, making him uneasy, is exactly what it comes down to. But it's all going to come down to the defense, guys. The defense is going to translate to good offense. So it's going to really be interesting to see how that kind of plays out, as we're going to see both players go for the Evolution Chamber as well as the Roach Warren. And you're going to see at the top left-hand corner, you'll see very similar build orders. We are going to see the lair coming in, though, for soO a little bit sooner than that of Serral. Serral has not as of yet gone for those higher tier lair-based units, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But we are going to see Glow Reconstitution coming in, though, for soO, for the Roaches. And so as this game goes, I mean, the reason why I've said this, I love the ZvZ matchup because of how intense it gets all across the map. So we're going to see a handful of Zerglings moving across the map and try to get the cancel possibly on this third hatchery of soO. And this would be a very big pickup here for Serral if he's able to get the cancel, is able to do exactly that. Beautiful pickup there by Serral. And those are the small victories, or the small battles that you can win that will that could very well end up helping you win the war here. And believe me, Serral feels that he is in a serious war against soO who is extremely hungry to win not only this series but the tournament. Beautiful scout there by Serral, seeing the timing on the lair that's coming in. Glamour Constitution is going to be finishing up in less than 10 seconds for soO. And so we're going to see this, you know, you're going to start seeing, it looks like, we're going to be seeing both players kind of getting fully saturated on their bases. Then they're going to, you know, getting these upgrades. Missile attacks level 1 is going to be finishing up for both players here in a few seconds. And who's going to really try to draw first blood there? I mean, I guess you could say Serral did somewhat with getting the cancel on that third hatchery, which was a nice pickup. And as he is trying to get fully saturated on all 3 bases, that's very big. But it does look like soO is kind of, it looks like he's thinking about pushing across the map. I don't know if it would be a really good decision because it's all going to come down to the engagements here. But it looks like, once again, Serral's going to have a run by of some of these Zerglings. He's going to try to get a couple of drones for his troubles, but not doing a whole lot as of yet on either side of the map. Both players are kind of giving each other that mutual respect. Glamour Constitution will be finishing up in less than 10 seconds now for Serral. And we're going to see those plus two missile attacks is being researched now out of soO. And once again, we're seeing Nematized Carapace being researched for Serral. And it's, as I've said, one of my favorite upgrades for the Zerg units, simply because you can get that great scouting information. And that's what Serral is so well known for. Getting scouting information with minimal based units and doing damage with a very small amount of units is what Serral has been very well known for. Doing more with less, so to speak, is what Serral is so good at. But soO, this is a guy who, you know, he's always been on the cusp of real greatness, I guess you could say, when you think about it. He has been in the finals of many tournaments, just has had issues with closing out, but he's just a player on the cusp, and he has been for years, but one of the best players in the world, and there's just no doubt about it, and no debate whatsoever, and I don't think Serral would disagree, because he is on the brink here. soO has taken the best player on the planet on the brink of elimination here in this IEM Katowice tournament. Ground Carapace level 1 is finished up now for soO, and sooner rather than later, I think we are going to see some massive engagements coming in from both these players, because they're giving each other that respect. But what that means is, when you're giving each other respect, as in letting your opponent kind of drone up and do whatever it is they please in the early stages, that means that you're going to be able to build a pretty nice, sizable army. And you can see both players have got really nice-sized armies right now. Compositions of Roaches and Ravagers right now. They've also got Overseers and Overlords flying all over the map. But who is really going to try to draw that true first blood here? Because it really comes down to the engagements. And that's exactly what both players are wondering, as we have now hit that max supply for both players. I like the current situation that Serral's in, but there might be a surround in store right now for soO. Serral's trying to kind of keeping out of that as of right now. Not taking any unnecessary risks, as Serral does have some Roaches that are moving across the map at that third base location. They are doing a lot of damage. We've got to keep an eye on that, as we see soO is really pushing in to the third base of Serral. Here we go. The big engagement, though, is happening at the third base of Serral. Question is there going to be an overextension here by soO, or is Serral spread thin because some of these units are across the map? Oh, I just don't know. soO is hitting in multiple angles at once. He's got a couple of units hitting that fourth base as well. It's all going to come down to these engagements. The micro has to be absolutely on point. Serral is trying to hold on and move on to the semifinal, but soO is creating some problems here on the opposite side of the map. It is so neck and neck. Oh my God, who has got the advantage here? Looks like both players are spread so thin. We saw in game number 4, this became an issue for soO, but the reinforcements are coming in just now for soO. And soO is starting to create some significant problems now at that third base location. Is there an overextension, though? That's the question. Is there a big overextension? It looks like this third base is going to fall, and a lot of these drones are falling with it as well. Oh, man. soO is starting to take a nice little lead. GG is called, and soO moves on to the semifinal at the IEM in Katowice. I hope you guys did enjoy this game and this series between soO and Serral. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.